A lot of people don't know how to analyze their own hair, and I don't blame them. My name is Iti Agarwal and I'm going to show you how to analyze your own hair. I recommend be in front of a mirror, so when I'm describing the hair, you can analyze your own hair. There are several considerations while analyzing hair. First one, your hair type. That's basically the pattern of your hair. Second one is texture, third is density, and then is porosity. So we'll be talking about these four things today. We'll talk about the pattern of hair first. It has three things in it: straight hair, wavy hair, curly hair. Straight hair basically is absolutely straight hair without any bend. So it's basically poker straight hair. And one of the things about straight hair is because it is so straight, light reflects back, and that's why straight hair appears shiny and it appears healthy. Wavy hair is nothing but just a bend into the hair. It's basically a C shape. A lot of people go to the salon and cut their hair and they wonder what happened. Their hair was just straight and now it's wavy. Nothing much has happened. Once you cut it into layers, the hair gets released and it jumps up into its original shape, which is wavy hair. Curly hair is basically my sort of hair. It's got an S-shaped pattern in it. Can you just see it on my hair? It's got many S's in it. So that's curly hair for you. One thing to note about curly and wavy hair is that because the light does not reflect back, both these textures appear to be dry, but they necessarily may not be dry. Density of hair means the number of hair on your head per square inch. It can be medium, thick or fine. For example, my own hair, if you come close to my hair and see it, my hair is quite fine in density. Straight hair with fine density will have problem with no volume in the hair, and curly hair with thick density will have problem with managing their hair. Look at your scalp, and if you see in 1 square inch you have lots of hair, that means you've got thick hair. If you've got slightly less, then you've got medium hair. And if you can see like how you can see mine, I've got very fine density. I've got fewer hair in 1 square inch, and that's fine density. Another way to test it is take your hair into a ponytail and see how thick your ponytail is. If it is as fine as mine, like mine is really little, then it's fine hair. If a little bit more, if it's like more, and if it is that more, then it's thick in density. Texture of hair basically is nothing but the thickness of each strand of your hair. So texture of hair can be fine, medium or thick. Obviously, if it is thick hair, then it is stronger. Also, chemical services take time, color will take time to process, or perming or straightening, because it has got, the thick hair has got more substance in it. Similarly with fine hair, because the hair strand is so fine, it can be over processed very easily. So one has to really take care of it. You can keep these things in mind when you go for chemical services. What I've done here is I have drawn it on a piece of paper. So if you can see, the last line where you can barely see the line is fine hair. Second one is medium hair. It is slightly thicker than fine hair. And the top one is thick hair. Now, how do we test for texture? Where do we look for it? Take one strand of your hair, run your fingers from root to tip. Don't run it the other way around, and feel the strand of your hair. It's not rocket science, you'll eventually get there. Porosity basically is the ability of hair to absorb in moisture. For porosity test, make sure your hair is clean, product free, not blow dried, because the heat will puff up the cuticle and we don't want that. Take a bottle of water and spray your hair 6 to 8 inches away and see how the water reacts to your hair. If the hair absorbs in water very quickly and throws out, that's porous hair. This hair is problematic hair. One has to be very careful. When this hair is wet, it feels very rubbery, it feels very spongy, it doesn't feel good. And when this sort of hair is dry, it feels hay-like, it feels like straw, it feels absolutely dry. So this is a sign of porous hair. Be very careful with chemical services on this hair. If the water stays on and then slides down the hair, that means you have low porosity. This is not as problematic. Only when you are doing your chemical services like color or straightening or perming, the hair will be slightly resistant. But if the water stays on your hair and then after a few minutes it goes in, your hair basically absorbs water, that is good porosity. That means your hair is absolutely healthy and you have nothing to worry about. While you're at it, I want you to do one last test, and that is elasticity of hair. It is the amount of pressure that you put on each or single strand of hair. For example, I'm just taking one strand of my hair. I'm holding it between my fingers nicely and stretching it. If it stretches and then when you release it, it jumps back to its original position, then it's good elasticity. Your hair is perfectly fine to do any chemical service, whether it's perming, coloring or straightening. But if the hair strand stretches and stretches, that means you have weak hair. And you need to look into it, you need to repair. There are many treatments outside for weak hair. If your hair stretches and it breaks, then you've got brittle hair, which means again you need to be very careful when you're doing chemical services. Now don't tell me that you put so much pressure that the strand breaks off easily. No, you just have to put very slight pressure and let the strand come back to its original position. Then it's good elasticity. If you really like this video, do share it with your friends and family, and stay tuned and stay glamorous.